Blindsided, the channel to learn, implement, and succeed.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blindsided. This is Carla Rivas Parker, Vision Rehabilitation Specialist, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 different ways you can use to read and navigate through a document. These 3 methods will be applicable on Microsoft Word documents, PDF documents, or text on the website when you find like an article and things like that. So in order for you to follow what I'm doing, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so I am now on my Word document and I'm gonna show you how to navigate. So first things first, let's talk about how to get the best position on your document. So when you open a document, it may typically fall not necessarily at the beginning of the document. If you want to start reading from the beginning of the document, you need to go to the top of the document. So there is a shortcut to go to the top of the document or to go to the bottom of the document. So the keyboard shortcut is the Control Home to go to the top of the document or Control End to go to the end of the document. We're gonna go to the top of the document with Control Home.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and.
And when you move to the top of the document, it always will read the first line and will position the cursor at the end of that line. So to move at the beginning of the line, all what you need to do is push the home key. So let's push the home key.
Cap H. Hotel.
And it moved to the letter H of Helen. And now I am totally at the beginning of the document. If I want to read the entire document, I can do the narrator key plus the letter R, or the narrator key plus down arrows. Those 2 commands will do exactly the same. Read from where the cursor is all the way down. So let's just try so you can see it. I'm gonna do narrator key plus down arrow.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and co-founder of the ACLU. Stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller was left blind and deaf. Beginning in 1887, Keller's teacher, Anne Sullivan.
Okay, I push the control key to stop reading. So anytime you want to stop the reading, that's your magic key. Just the control key, just push it once and it stops the reading. Okay, so now you know how to get to the top of the document. Let's go to the bottom of the document with Control End.
Or meningitis.
And what it did, it went to the last line of the document and it read what was on that line and position the cursor at the end of that line. So if I am to continue typing something in this document, that's where I need to be in order to continue typing. So my new typing will be added to the end and not in the middle of the document. Okay, so now there are different ways to read our document. We can read letter by letter, word by word, line by line, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph, or page by page. So the page by page will work only if your document has more than 1 page. So at least if it has 2, you can go back and forth between the 2 pages. But if you don't have that, like this document I'm showing you right now only has 1 page, then it will only stay there. It's not gonna go anywhere. So in other words, it's not gonna work. So let's work in moving through from the smallest amount of text you can move, which is character by character. I'm gonna go to the top of the document again.
Helen Keller was an American.
I'm gonna stop reading, and I'm gonna start from here. Character by character, right arrow and left arrow will read you back and forth. So left arrow goes
Space,
backwards.
A, space, S, A, W,
And right
whiskey,
arrow will move your cursor and will read character by character going to the right.
A, S, space, A, N, space,
If we want to read word by word instead, we're going to use the left and right arrows, but this time we're going to hold the control key so we can read word by word. So I'm going to move forward word by word.
American, educator, comma, advocate, for, the, blind, and, deaf,
I'm stopping there. And now I'm going to go backwards word by word with control left arrow.
and, blind, the, for, advocate, comma, educator, American,
Okay. So now if we want to read line by line, we're going to use the up and down arrow keys. So let's push the up arrow key. Nothing. So obviously I am at the very first line, so it's not gonna go any farther up. So I'm gonna do down arrow.
co-founder of the ACLU. Stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller was left.
And now I'm gonna read the previous line with the up arrow.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and.
Okay. And so that's the way you navigate with the arrow keys between characters, words, and lines. And if you're navigating by words, for example,
Founder of the ACLU.
I would like to know what those letters are. I can go character by character. If I go right arrow, I know I'm missing the first character because it's right now at the first character. So I'm gonna go right and left quickly so I can get on the first character.
Cap A, Cap C, Charlie, Cap L, Lima, Cap U, uniform.
Okay, so it read the letters, they all are capital letters. And if you have difficulty understanding what letter is, it associates the letter with a phonetic word. So that's important, especially like people like me. I don't hear the difference between B and V or C and Z. Those sound kind of similar to me. And so especially if I receive like a password or a special code that I need to enter, I usually do the phonetic spelling. That way I know for sure I am typing the correct letter. So that's important to know that when you navigate like that, okay? So now that's the method number 1 to navigate through reading through the document. The method number 2 will involve certain keys that are usually under your right hand. When you place your fingers on the keyboard on your right hand, you place your fingers, your index on the J, your middle finger on the K, and your ring finger on the L. So we're gonna use 9 keys in order to navigate. Those 3 keys will be kind of the home keys. Those are called home keys where your fingers are, those 3. Underneath of those 3, we have the M, the comma, and the period. And above those 3 first keys, we have the U, the I, and the O. So you have the 9 keys just right there under your hand. So in order to read characters, words, or lines, we're gonna use these keys in combination with the narrator key, okay? So if we want to read character by character, we're going to start on the lower three keys, the M, the comma, and the period. So the narrator key plus the M will read the previous character, and I'm going to read like that.
Cap C, Cap A, space, E, H, T, space.
And with the period, I'm going to read the next character.
T, H, E, space, Cap A, Cap C, Charlie.
If you want to read the current character, that will be with the comma. So remember, all this time I'm holding down the narrator key. So when I push narrator key with the comma,
Cap C, Cap C, Cap C,
just stay in
Charlie.
current character. So remember, the pattern is previous, current, and next. So I am on the road where I'm reading characters. So M, comma, and period will be previous, current, and next character while you push the narrator key. If you forget to push the narrator key and you just push those keys, you are going to add those as part of your text. So you have to be very careful when you do that. To read word by word, we're going to use the three keys above, which is the J, the K, and the L. J for previous word, K for current word, and L for next word. So let's try it. Previous word.
The
Next word.
ACLU, period, stricken, by, an, illness, at, the, age, of, 2, comma, Keller.
I stop there, and I'm gonna read current word.
Keller.
If I wanna hear the spelling of that word, I can push the K twice fast.
Cap KELLER space, Kilo Echo Lima Lima Echo Romeo space.
And it will spell it for you, and then it will phonetically spell it for you as well. So that's important. Many times we want to hear just the whole word like that. So J, K, and L, previous word, current word, next word. Now we're going to read line by line. So here we go, the U, I, and O, the three keys that are above the J, K, and L. That will be previous line, current line, and next line. So let's do the narrator with the U.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and co-founder of the ACLU.
Next line.
Stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller was left blind and deaf.
Current line.
Blind and deaf.
Current line.
Blind and deaf.
Previous line.
Co-founder of the ACLU.
Previous line.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind.
So, by just holding the narrator key and using these 9 keys, we were able to read by character, by word, and by line. Now, if we want to read by sentences, paragraphs, and pages, we're going to use the exact same keys, but this time, besides holding down the narrator key, we're going to hold down the control key as well. So here we go. I'm holding down narrator and control, and I'm going to start sentence by sentences with the M, comma, and period, okay? Previous sentence.
Ribbon tabs, share,
Oops,
button,
I
off,
pushed something wrong.
ZS.
So I think I push just to get into the menu. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna do escape key.
Helen Keller docs,
and
editing.
That took me back to my text. So this is important that happens to me, because if it happens to you, now you know what to do. You will push the escape key to get out of that. Okay, so let's try again. Holding down the narrator key and control, and I'm gonna read sentence by sentence with the M, comma, and period.
Ribbon tabs, share. Helen Keller docs. Stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller was left blind and deaf. Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and co-founder of the ACLU.
Next sentence.
Stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller was left blind and deaf.
Next sentence.
Beginning in 1887, Keller's teacher, Anne Sullivan, helped her make tremendous progress with her ability to communicate, and Keller
Previous
went on to
sentence.
stricken by an illness at the age of 2, Keller.
And I stop it. So now we're gonna read paragraph by paragraph. We will use that with the J, K, and L, but this time again, holding the narrator key and the control key. Let's try that.
Beginning in 1887, Keller's teacher, Anne Sullivan, helped her make tremendous progress with.
I stop it. I'm gonna move to the next paragraph.
Early life and family. R. Helen Keller docs. R. Screen sharing meeting control. Helen Keller docs. Screen sharing meeting controls. Helen Keller docs. Word window. Helen Keller docs.
Okay, so we're reading by paragraphs. So here we go with the current, next, and previous paragraphs. And that will be with the J, the K, and the L. Previous paragraph. I think I was at the very top one, so it's not gonna go any farther up. So let's go down the next paragraph. Or let's read the current paragraph, which is the K, holding down the narrator and the control.
Early life and family.
That's just a subtitle.
Beginning in 1887, Keller's teacher, Anne Sullivan, helped her make.
I guess I was not pushing the keys all the way down. So we need to make sure when we push the keys that we're really pushing it. I think I was barely touching them. So again, here we go. Previous paragraph with the J.
Helen Keller was an American educator, advocate for the blind and deaf and co.
I'm stopping it. Next paragraph with the L.
Beginning in 1887, Keller's teacher, Anne Sullivan.
Next paragraph.
Early life and family.
That just read the subtitle. Next paragraph.
Keller was born on June 27, 1880, in Tucson.
So you get the hang there. And of course, reading page by page, which we're not gonna practice here because we only have one page, will be with the U, the I, and the O, being the U, the previous page, by holding, remember, the control and narrator keys together. And the I will be current page and the O will be next page. That was your method number 2. And the method number 3 is by using some sort of router where you're gonna pick first what modality you wanna read, either characters, words, lines, sentences, paragraphs. And once you select your modality of reading, then you're gonna use the narrator key in conjunction with the left or the right arrow keys. The left and the right arrow keys will move you between previous and next or whatever your modality is. So let's check what those modalities of reading are. In order to know what your choices are, you're gonna hold the narrator key and the control, and you will go up or down arrow to move through your choices. So here are your choices.
Sentences, lines, words, characters, tables, links, headings, landmarks, form fields, items, paragraphs, sentences.
And it was all the way back to sentences again. So it is important here. We heard links, we heard landmarks, we heard forms, fields. Many times we encounter these type of modalities in documents where Word documents or PDF documents, where a chapter is marked as a link, and when you click on the link or you push enter on that link, it takes you to that particular chapter. Or you can move by headings, like in this case, you could move between the subtitles if those are marked as headings. And you have the other modalities of the character sentences. So let's select, in this case, we're gonna select sentences. So I'm gonna go down.
Tusk. Lines.
I think
Words.
sentences is above. So I'm gonna go up arrow.
Lines. Sentences.
There you go. I select that. And now, in order for me to read, I'm just gonna hold the narrator key and the right or left arrows to navigate with the right forward and with the left backwards, okay? Let's do it.
Keller was the first of 2 daughters born to Arthur H. Keller and Catherine Adams Keller. Keller's father had served as an officer in the Confederate Army during the. She also had 2 older stepbrothers.
Okay, it's reading by sentences, and I'm just holding the narrator key and using the right and left key. I'm gonna go backwards by sentences.
Keller's father had served as an officer in the Confederate Army during the link Civil War. Keller and Catherine Adams Keller. Keller was the first of 2 daughters born to Arthur H.
Okay, let's say I wanna read by paragraphs, then I go back to my router, control and narrator keys, I hold them down, and with my arrow keys now, I'm gonna select paragraphs.
Lines, words, characters, tables, links, headings, landmark, form feed, items, paragraphs.
Paragraphs. I release my keys, and now holding the narrator key, I'm gonna go right and left, navigating between paragraphs.
The family was not particularly wealthy and earned income from their cotton plantation. Later, Arthur became the editor of a weekly local newspaper, the North Alabamian.
And if I go previous paragraph.
Keller was born on June 27, 1880, in Tuscumbia, Alabama.
And I'm gonna jump previous paragraph again.
Early life and family.
That was the subtitle. Okay, so that is the way you read and navigate your document. So you have 3 different ways. You need to explore them and find out which one is the easiest for you. I just want to give you the tools, the information, that way you can make the best informed decisions for you. Remember, the more you learn, the more you're going to implement and succeed. And this concludes my little presentation here. I hope if you like it, please click on give me a like. And if you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing and make sure you click on the bell so you're notified when I post more videos. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next episode.